less as time went on.
I was always excited. Madam Chair, we are live.
Thank you, Mrs. DeGraw. We want to go ahead and call our regular meeting to order. We're running just a little behind schedule. I apologize about that. But thank you to those that are here. Had Deputy Keller all ready to lead us in the pledge. He just stepped out, so I'll go ahead and do that. All right. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Catch him next time. Okay, before we open for a motion to approve the agenda,
Madam Chair, I so move.
is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes, thank you. Mrs. DeGraw, do we have any public comment sheets?
No, ma'am.
Before we open for a motion to approve the consent agenda,
Madam Chair, so moved.
is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Okay.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Cruising right along to our first action item, purchase and spending surplus approvals.
So we have one spending and one surplus item, so we'll need to have two different votes. That's going to be presented to the board. The first one is for wrestling competition mat and practice mats. We've been in discussion with the wrestling program for the past several years. This is something that we've been looking at to purchase new. Right now, the practice mats, I'll speak on the practice mats first. I believe they're the same age as the gym. They've been around since the gym was first purchased. What happens on those mats is they need to be cleaned regularly to help with any bacteria or anything else like that. And the mats, the finish on them is starting to like wear away, which makes it really difficult to, one, clean, but two, they're not great to practice on. And so I asked our wrestling staff to get me a couple of quotes, and they found some quotes that really are budget friendly. The types of mats that we're looking at are a little bit different than the current ones. The current ones are really big, heavy ones, and it takes literally a team of wrestlers to get in and move, and they put them on wheels with carts. Chris, you probably remember seeing those back in the day. These are a little bit different where it's smaller chunks. One or two kids can be assigned each one the spot. It's just better user friendly. They won't be out on the ground the entire time, so they're only going to be out during the wrestling season. When the wrestling season's over, they'll be able to put them back. So the practice mat quotes came in at $23,581. Other quotes for practice mats were almost double that from other places, and so we're like, let's focus on this and see if you want to do with that. So the practice mats are the one thing that I think are the most, that's like a priority that it's a must have for us and the safety of the kids. The second one is though that there's a promotion that goes on to purchase competition mats. Now the difference between the competition mat and the practice mat is the competition ones are just used during the actual duels or tournaments that happen at the school. We currently do have one competition mat. And the reason why two competition mats would be almost perfect for a high school setting is because you'd be able to have two really good mats out. When we do host events like the Jefferson Cup or tries, you'll be able to have two different matches going on at the same time with the full circle for the wrestlers. The reason why this is a promotion is because the shipping gets cut off of the cost, and they would actually use the mat at the state tournament for the first use of it. And so we wouldn't get this mat until after the season's over, but this is where we would save some of the money, is that the competition mat would be made, it would have our logo on it, and then they'll ship it this year to Nampa. That's what's going to be at the Boise Ford Center. Boise, the Ford Center in Nampa. And then after that, we would be responsible to have it shipped home. So the wrestling team would have to find somebody, put it into a trailer and bring it back. And that's where the promotional savings comes.
Would it fit in the school bus?
I don't think it would fit in the school bus. It'd be better to be like in an enclosed trailer. Like, I think it would fit easily in a snow machine trailer type thing.
Okay.
They're not super heavy, and so it would fit perfectly in something like that. Which I know that somebody from the wrestling community, or a booster member would be probably willing to do that.
Does it, like the current competition mat, it's in 3 or 4 pieces, is it, this one will be the same? I
Yeah.
assume?
Yeah, let me pull up the renderings of those. So let's look at the practice mat first, on this quote. So this would be the practice mat. And so you'd have all of these different little practice sections. Those white lines that are going down are individual roles. And that's the reason why it's a lot lighter. When you look at our current one, you basically cut it right in half in this section right here, and it's one big giant roll. And you have to be able to move it into the gym where they have the events. We have to take out the middle bars. It takes a whole crew of people. This is safer when it comes to moving it, and also just more user friendly.
Would we decide how many?
Yes, so these are all of the different ones that they would have. This is the quote that the wrestling coaches gave me. This is exactly what they were hoping for. One difference on this is it is only a single side. Our current mats, and maybe those are the ones that do cost double. They usually have practice mats on one side and like a competition mat on the other. These would only be singles.
So these would just stay up in the practice.
They could either keep them up or during the summer, if they're wanting to preserve them, they can roll those up and put them in that closet. And then the wrestling room would just have the concrete floor. That way, other groups do come in, you don't have all that traffic going across the mats.
I would say that's a stipulation on it.
They need to be put away.
You know, put away so they're not doing.
And that's what Coach Goodyear, when he and I were visiting about that, that's what he said, he'd want them put away during the summertime.
So that fine print, go back up to the first page,
Uh-huh.
right there, up,
Higher.
yeah, right there. As per,
So Tristan Rogers started this quote, and then it got handed off to Kendall. So you can,
did it change after it got?
no,
Him was just the same, oh, I see.
so this is the company, because they started talking to Coach Rogers in the first place.
Okay.
They're just putting in their notes that Kendall was the one that, so I think that the decision was to not have, or to have it double sided, but Kendall wants it single sided.
I see.
So that would be the practice mat. The competition mat. This would be the competition mat, the simple Panther wrestling mat on the side like that. And so, but you can see, instead of having one full, so like I said, we do have one mat that is like this already. Our newest one has that.
Just remind me where that money comes from.
So what we're looking to spend this money, the funding sources is gonna come from the interest earnings from this facilities CD. So we have available to us 33,573 that came directly from the interest from that. And that can be used however we want. This is a need that we've seen. One possibility is only to get the practice mats and not get them both at the same time. But because where we don't have enough from the facilities earning to cover all of it, the Little Panther Wrestling Club, which is a community club, has offered to take on the additional $1,200 towards that. Coach Goodyear and Coach Fisher, they do it all. They're part of the Little Panther Club. They do the junior high and the high school, and they said that it's only fair for them to kick in a little bit as well. That way we're not asking them to pay, $5,000 or $6,000 towards that, which I don't think they need to. We have the funding available for it.
The current CD will come to maturity in February. And we're set to get about the same amount.
So this was the stuff that came available to us in August, so we already have that, we were just needing a project for it. In February, we'll have another one, and then in August, we'll have another one. We'll be able to keep that as long as the interest rates are what they are and no other projects take on the need for the 521, so that's kind of what we're doing with that.
good.
So I guess my recommendation is to get them both right now, get them both ordered. They do take about 12 weeks, so we might get the practice mats at the end of the season. But sooner the better, in my opinion. But the board could break this down and say, let's just get the practice mats now, wait and get the competition mat later, or get them both. Is my
You said by getting them both, you don't have to pay.
with one, we don't get the shipping. The shipping's not gonna be charged on the competition one. We'd still get shipping charged to us on the practice, on the practice mat. Cause they have the shipping, yep.
Mhm.
So really, we save about $3,000 by having the other one go to the state tournament first.
Any discussion, any questions? Not, the chair will entertain a motion to approve both the practice and competition mats for the wrestling mat purchase.
Chair, so
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Super. Okay, and then the second one,
Surplus proposal.
okay.
So the district does own a 1992 Oldsmobile four-door sedan. I feel like a car salesman right now. With only 269,000 miles on it.
Jump on
It,
that.
it does run, but it will need a battery. It does have possibly some electrical issues, something that keeps running the battery down. Tires are poor. It's sat for a lot of,
Selling.
yeah, I am. That's why my recommendation is to set the base bid at 110, because that's what we estimate we could get if we went and scrapped it. And so I didn't want to, like, we would be able to get about $100 out of it for scrap. But I want us to set a base bid at least 110, because if somebody else just wants it to come in and get it for $10 and then go scrap it, I think we can make that. It's not like we're trying to make money, but it is district property and we're just trying to dispose of it in a way that benefits us. And this could be a good project for somebody. And so
buy that for my son's first car.
there you go.
Friend Pollard.
Kids out in the worst possible.
Those are plush. My parents had I think a 93 or 94, one like that. And
Is this the old driver's ed car?
no, I believe this may have been the old superintendent car from the 90s.
Okay.
From the 90s.
You don't want to make it the new superintendent.
I don't have that in my, I guess we're renegotiating my contract here in a couple of months.
Future programs.
Maybe we'll just throw this in.
Let's not forget this. Bad.
We're pretty good to you.
Keep that in mind.
And the 92 Oldsmobile.
Hold that as earnings.
Or punishment, you will drive. I will drive this, but that would be my recommendation. If the board wants to, we could surplus this without the base bid, whatever you want to do on it, but it is one that I just need to have before we remove it from the district. The board needs to be aware of it, vote on it.
Okay. Well, any other discussion, questions?
Retirement gift for Nedra, I don't know.
Show you
It's a
what
problem.
Oh, shoot.
She's not cruising, she can be fixing the car.
Cruising the car.
I had an Oldsmobile once, can't remember the year though, but it was around,
Around that time.
it
Well,
used to be a good car.
the chair will entertain a motion to approve the surplus of the 92 Oldsmobile with a base bid of $110.
Madam Chair, I move that we do put the bid on there of 110.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Get your bids in.
So what we'll do now is we will advertise that The advertisement will have an end date. We will just accept sealed bids. Once the date ends, we'll open up those bids and the highest bidder will get it.
Super.
And
All right, next up, we have policy for second reading.
so 2 months ago was the last time we looked at policy. The advanced opportunities policy is the one that we're looking at. I believe the only thing that held this from being approved the time before was the state had some changes to the dollar amount per credits for the kids, and we just wanted to make sure that it was accurately portrayed in this one. Other than that, Mrs. DeGraw, do you remember anything else besides that was?
There was just some wording that we edited to make it more grammatically correct.
And this is one that I would like to have Mr. Guimar come in and just give us an update on advanced opportunities, how we're using them in our schools.
Great.
That's something that we'd be able to do that. So pretty straightforward on this one, nothing new. Just that we need to, this is the second reading for it and opportunity for input.
Any discussion or questions?
Just a grammatical thing on the third
Yes.
page. There's an extra period for the first sentence. Third challenge, of course. First sentence at the top.
This one.
Right here.
There.
Oh, I see that. I will get that corrected because it doesn't change any of the content. It can still go through as a second reading.
Makes sense.
Okay. Well, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the adoption of policy 2435 advanced opportunities.
Madam Chair, I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Okay. We need to certify election results.
So although there were no elections run, we did have, it was an election year. And so this one is just saying that where Tanis, you were the only one that ran in zone 4. With Nedra retiring, Emily Belknap was the only one running in zone 5. So this is just the formal process of saying that Tanis Cherry is the declared elected trustee for zone 4. And Emily Belknap is the declared elected trustee in zone 5. And so as this is the next board meeting, we will go ahead and do that. And Tanis, congratulations. I get to I get that word. And congratulations to Emily as well, as she'll be joining us on the board in January. But grateful for you guys being willing to be on the board.
It's a good time. The chair will entertain a motion to certify the November 4th, 2025 election results.
Sure, so.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor? Any opposed? That motion passes. Move on to informational and discussion items.
So policy. Open enrollment procedures. This would be. Remind me, Mr. Brown, first reading or second reading?
This is both of these are first readings because I had to make significant changes to the policies after our board meeting in October.
So the open enrollment procedures, we did discuss this in October. The part that really jumped out was the capacity limits, is what we updated. Do you remember
So it was written very strange. Because it had like the high school, they could have 165 students during the day. And that just felt funky.
and it's hard to follow, what does that mean?
What does that mean? And so,
We just rewrote it to make it look more like grade levels,
right.
because that kind of just gives us the numbers.
And we adjusted some of the numbers to match what our open enrollment is showing on the website. While reviewing this last night, I realize that we have another policy that needs to be updated. It's our attendance policy. And I wanna make it so that the numbers in that one match this. And we have had some guidelines to update our attendance policies. So probably if we could work on that in a work meeting at some point in time.
So with the capacities, we just chose really how much, that doesn't mean that we couldn't go higher than this. But if we are at these levels, we are not going to allow out of district people to come in. That's what.
It's not like a surefire thing that if they meet all the other qualifications, all the qualifications, they can come in. I did go through your notes that you had made on this, and I fixed some of that verbiage.
Okay, super.
But, you know, I took out executive director, I put, superintendent where that belonged, and I changed some of them that needed to be principal instead of superintendent.
Awesome.
So all of those have been corrected.
We get a copy of this updated one
Yes,
and the next.
absolutely.
But we'll get these hard copies for you. So this is the open enrollment, then controversial issues in academic freedom. The section that we were discussing before, I believe, was this number 3 with the teacher. And this is what the teacher will notify parents before discussing especially controversial issues and inform them of their rights to excuse their child based on family, religious, or moral values. The teacher also asked the principal to review any questions for us. And that was the only section. Everything else was the same from the initial one.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Just a correction on that one.
Uh-huh.
Go back to it at the bottom. Number 4, we do not have this policy. I do need to remove that from this policy.
Take out number 4.
I do have to just delete number 4 altogether.
Okay.
So the question is, does that push this back to another first reading by removing that?
I think it does.
Okay.
Cause it's removal of
Great.
Okay.
Next, the superintendent's report.
So I don't have anything to pull up as I'm just discussing superintendent report. Just wanted to hit on a couple of things, talk a little bit about Veterans Day assembly yesterday was amazing in both the high school and the elementary. Our student council puts together a luncheon for the veterans. And so they do that here in the district gym. It's set up nice and neat. The student council members are able to sit, visit with the veterans. Veterans were very grateful. They felt very appreciative. Especially our veterans from Vietnam. It's almost come full circle, I think, to them. Some of the comments that these individuals were saying is, when we got back from our service and we'd show up to the base in California, he's like, there were hundreds or thousands of protesters throwing eggs at us, calling us all sorts of names. And they just said, we wanted to hide. We wanted to just get back to Idaho, get away from people, be a recluse, not even be proud of being a vet. And again, it wasn't they were doing their job. We know that. And for that to come full circle to our students, making them meals, telling them thank you. We appreciate the freedoms that we have here in the United States because of them. They were just so grateful. Like you're teaching, like many times they're like, thank you for teaching these kids patriotism. Thank you for teaching these kids to love their country. Those things are happening in our school district. We love our country. We love that. The high school had an assembly. They asked Mr. Gore to speak about his time back east this last year when he was taking classes as part of his program. He talked about a lot of the different places he was able to go see, the historical documents, the Supreme Court justice, people that like so many wonderful things, and share a few things about like the veterans. And he made a good point when he's like, we live in America, in the United States of America, and we have all of this freedom, but why? it is because of the veterans and from the very beginning of our country till now. And he made the point that these veterans fight for everyone. And he made the comment of whether you're a conservative Republican or a left-leaning Democrat. Those veterans fight for both of them, not just one, but not the other. It's everyone. And then we also were able to hear some really good stories from Senator Burt Shaw and his wife Joni. They came and shared a few things with the staff and the students. Students were very respectful. A couple of our students sang a song. I can't remember the name of the song, but it was one about a Vietnam vet and situation. Our two students, Chase Van Epps and Summers Paisley. They just lost. I could see her face. Man, I wish we would have had that recorded and we could play it right here. It was so good. I think they do have a couple recordings of it, but it was just amazing. And then we moved into the Panther Den for the combined Hamer and Terrapin Elementary program. Well attended. They did announce the VFW does award Teacher of the Year awards. Chet Packer was chosen as the secondary Teacher of the Year, and Jill Coleman was selected as the elementary. They mentioned in there that Jill has been teaching for over 2 decades. So I got to talk to my daughter about what a decade was and how many years that is. Super excited, but it was well attended. It was a good spirit of patriotism, of gratitude for our veterans. And I think our school represented ourselves well, and the veterans were very grateful for them. The busy time of year, we're moving into the fall sports, into winter sports. Our fall sports all had successful seasons. The different activities, proud of all of our kids that participate, and just look forward to keep providing more opportunities for the kids going forward. Any questions or comments? Where I didn't have anything planned, I'll put myself on the spot with questions or things.
So that football team, they did pretty well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Go as far as.
They went to the second round of the playoffs. Yeah. It's been a while. So we were the final 8 teams in the state.
Pretty good.
It is really good. Out of our
Pretty good on them. Them too. They did an amazing job.
yeah, they did.
Great. I think so. Oh, why didn't Idaho High School something association, why didn't they have them to watch? I had to watch Jermaine's.
Oh, so when they're in that round, the teams still have the choice, the home team or the higher seeded team, they have a choice of whether they do it at their home venue or in a neutral venue like the ICCU Dome. And where we played West Side, it falls back on their internet network on how well it runs. And so if there was any issues with the NFHS system, if it's broadcast from theirs, then it's their system.
Do we have a setup to?
Our home ones do. Yeah. Our home ones are the same ones that we see on our basketball games, and our football games were all broadcast. And keep our fingers crossed. Luckily our internet on our side was working well. Sometimes there are internet issues that it works well here on ours. We've had some people say, hey, it's not working at my house. It's not working at my house.
Yeah, I couldn't get it.
But sometimes it's maybe the connection at your house as well. It just,
Are you talking about the one at the Dome?
Yeah.
They had, their NFHS wasn't working at the Dome.
I didn't think it was, cause I tried everything.
Well, they got it working.
they did get
It
it. Right.
is.
Cause I watched it.
How late into the game?
We watched the whole game.
Whole game.
They didn't do the score.
They have to wait for next year.
There was no score, no downs or anything, but you.
Lights, no nothing. They didn't do any of that, but at least you.
Yeah, I have.
Why don't they show the scoreboard every once in a while and just run up there and just.
Because it's not manned.
It's an AI
Yeah.
camera.
It's
So
not
it's just
getting
the camera's
operated.
built to follow the action.
I see. That's a bad deal.
That's
Well,
why
that's right, they
sometimes
use the
it
school
doesn't
board
look
that's
those.
for them, but they didn't use it at all. when
I-
they were at the
With our
doctor.
home events, I usually double check or have people text me and say, hey, it's not working. And then I contact the support, the tech support from NFHS, and they're usually pretty good. But it takes one person just to send that support in.
I figure, you know, you gotta pay for that channel, it should be working.
Yeah.
True. Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Williams. Mrs. DeGraw, do we need to set up a work meeting then?
Do we wanna work on that in December or do we wanna do it in January?
Either way, it would be nice to start. There's a few policies that I think we would like to take some time in a work meeting setting. But again, it just comes back down to this busy schedules of everybody.
Probably.
Or would it be better to wait maybe until,
I think it would be better to do it after our annual January meeting. And then we'll schedule a work meeting and we'll have 3 or 4 policies that we will review.
Okay.
At that time.
okay. So we'll wait till then, so we'll just do our next meeting. In December.
Our next meeting schedule, the board will be performing Mr. Williams' evaluation at that time to allow you guys for sufficient time. We'd like to start that meeting at 9:30. I will provide lunch for the board after that executive session. And then following that lunch, we will do our regular board meeting at 12:30.
Is that the 10th?
I think so.
Yes, December 10th.
All right, so 9:30. All right, any other events? If not, we'll be open for a motion to adjourn.
Chair, so moved.
Is there a second?
So.
Those in favor?
Okay.
Any opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.